The June numbers may indicate how slow the city's market may be during the summer. Here's your Toronto real estate market update. In the city's core, there were 1,447 sales. That's down 19% from May and up 17% compared to June of last year. Declining sales from May to June is pretty normal, as we commonly see sales either peak in April or May and then decrease in number until we get back to the fall market. In June, there were 3,344 new listings in the core. That's basically the same number as in May and about 6% less compared to June of 2022. Now, new listings staying consistent from May is not normal. 3 out of the last 4 years, we saw the number of new listings fall from May to June by 20, 19, and 9% respectively. So to see the number of new listings coming to market stay the same as May is totally out of the ordinary. By the way, the year where new listings didn't fall from May to June was 2020, and there's a reason for that. Part of March, all of April, and the beginning of May was the time of peak fear regarding COVID, and housing activity had dropped substantially. June 2020 was essentially the beginning of the spring market that year, and new listings peaked in September of 2020, which was not typical at all. So with sales falling and a good amount of new properties being listed, we obviously saw a decent jump in active inventory from May, up 14%. Inventory levels are below June 2022 numbers, though that's not surprising considering that things really slowed down last year because of escalating rates. This is another instance of a not normal occurrence, as typically active inventory falls from May to June, not increase, let alone a double-digit increase. So what does this mean for the market in Toronto's core? I believe that things are starting to shift away from being a very strong seller's market to slightly more favorable conditions for buyers. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting a buyer's market by any means. Statistically speaking, things still favor owners, but both buyers and sellers are so used to things being so competitive, there being multiple offers. I believe the pace will slow a bit and there won't be as much competition for properties. Average prices normally decline during the summer months, partly because the most expensive homes sell during the spring and fall markets, but buyer activity does drop during the summer, and I believe that's partly to blame for lower prices. But with reduced buyer activity and a more than usual amount of inventory, I think buyers will find July and August to be a big change compared to April, May, and June, and they may be able to find some opportunities that weren't there in the spring and may not be there in the fall either. We saw very similar trends in the areas surrounding the core, like Scarborough, Etobicoke, and North York. Sales were down 12% compared to May and up 27% compared to June of last year. That 27% number is of note, as it demonstrates just how hard hit the outer areas were once rates started to climb. The 1,295 reported sales in June are pretty in line with other years, but to have 27% more than June of 2022 shows that buyers really halted their desire to purchase around this time last year. Active listings rose 8% from May and are only down 4% compared to June of last year. And when we see that active inventory is up a whopping 22% from last month, we start to see that, much like the core, the outer areas are seeing a normal drop off in sales, but an uncommon increase in new listings and active inventory, which may very well also lead to market conditions that will be more buyer friendly. Ultimately, for the entire city, I predict the summer to be a more buyer-friendly market and should present a 2-month window where people may be able to pick up a deal, considering that those happen so infrequently. And as for sellers, have some patience, as your place may not sell in a week and you may get a little bit less than you were hoping. I'm Jamie Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. I want to thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching. If you're catching this on YouTube, it would mean the world to me if you would like the video, if you would subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming content.